Hey everybody, I'm making this video for anyone who wants to start their own leader laboratory for making musky leaders. I think there's two reasons why you want to do this. The first one is just, math and financial reasons. So, a musky leader, depending on where you get it and what it's made of and who's made it, you're going to $10 to $20 anyway, depending on what side of the border you're on, and as I said, where you've bought it. And what it's made out of. And if you go through a handful of those in the season, maybe $100, $200 worth, and once they're used, they're done. And if you're like me, you use a leader, maybe on half a dozen outings, you begin to lose confidence in it, and you want to make sure that you get a new leader on because you don't want it to snap or a component to fail on it. So you're just going through a few leaders, and you can make them much, much cheaper. The second reason is you get to make what you want. So you want to make longer leaders, shorter leaders. You want to make shorter leaders for doing figure eights and working on that, or longer leaders, longer trolling leaders, 6 foot, 7 foot trolling leaders, depending on where you are and what you're using. You can experiment and do all that stuff. So, and you can make them with anything you want, experimenting with different ways. And if you're someone who has a lot more confidence in 2 crimps or knots, then you can use the 2 crimps, or you can use the knots, or you can use solid ring connectors, or you can use snap lock connectors, whatever you want. So I'm just going to go through now, sort of, what a modest investment for your musky leader laboratory in a box gets you. So this is mine, and what I have here is my materials and my tools. I only have 2 tools and a handful of materials. So going through the tools, I have a hand crimper. And I have wire bending pliers for those single wire leaders. Not that expensive, and you don't need to use these kinds. You can get any kind you want. I got these off Amazon. In terms of materials, so I have my 7-strand wire. I use the single-strand titanium wire, the single-strand stainless wire, and buy a package of fluorocarbon and the pound test and the brand that I like and I have confidence in. And in terms of the other materials, for all those materials, I have 3 types of leader sleeves that match all those materials for crimping. I have welded rings. I like the size 4. It tends to work generally for everything. And some snaps for finishing the bottom lever where it connects to the lure, and then a couple different kinds of swivels. I like size 4 ball bearing swivels and size 4 rolling swivels is what I use. But for all of these things, and the materials and the tools that I've showed you, you're looking at an investment, depending on what side of the border you are, between $2 and $3, and what materials you want, between $200 and $300. So, I think that all of this together cost me, about $250, and that was mostly because the fluorocarbon was expensive, and a couple of the tools, particularly the Nipex wire bending pliers, were more expensive. But the thing is, I've used this and I've had these materials for 2 seasons now. I'll probably have them for 3 more because you just don't go through that much of it. And you can make whatever you want. I make my own. You can make your own fluorocarbon leaders. You can make your own 7-strand leaders. You can make your own titanium leaders. Make your own single wire jerkbait leaders, and you can make them and customize them any way you want. I'm not going to stretch out my trolling leaders because there isn't that much room on the table here. But the point I'm trying to make with the video here is that if you are a musky fisherman who goes out, a dozen plus times a year and does find yourself going through leaders and spending money on leaders, if you make a modest investment and build your own leader laboratory in a box, and I just keep this right in my boat, then I build them as I need them and how I want them. Yeah. So there you go. Musky leader laboratory in a box, everybody.